Morning, friends. Welcome to morning coffee, but I already drank my coffee. Kind of running late because I got sidetracked. But anyway, welcome to Genesis. As we go through the Genesis One New Man Bible. Don't know how far we'll go with it. Translated from the original Hebrew. This is the part about Joseph going into Egypt. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potipher, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him from the hands of the Ishmaelites, who had brought him down there. Remember, Ishmaelites are the cousins to the Israelites, because Abraham had two sons. One he had because his wife didn't trust the Lord, and he went along with it and got her maid Hagar pregnant for a son, which was Ishmael. And then, of course, Isaac with Sarah later. And this caused a rift. They were all relatives, but it did cause a rift. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a successful man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and made all that he did succeed in his hand. So Joseph found favor in his sight, and he served him and made him overseer of his whole house. So he's the whole project manager, the household manager. He manages all of Potiphar's stuff for him. That's how much he trusted him. So any decisions he put in his hand, any decisions, expenses, whatever that he thought necessary, things that need to be done, Joseph took care of it for him. And it was from the time that he made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. He left all that he had in Joseph's hand and did not know anything he had. In other words, he didn't even know what he had going on. Joseph took care of that. Joseph took care of that. I'm just going to work for Pharaoh. Joseph can take care of all my business. All he knew was the bread that he ate. All he knew what he was having for supper, breakfast, lunch, dinner. And Joseph was good looking. He was a good looking man and well favored. So it happened after all these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph. And she said, "Lie with me." She figures her husband don't know anything that goes on in her house, that Joseph takes care of everything, so Joseph can take care of her too. But he refused and said to her, "Look, my master does not know what it is with me in the house." In other words, he doesn't even know everything that I do here, and he's committed all of it to my hand. There's no one greater in this house than I. Neither has he kept back anything from me but you. So the only thing I'm not supposed to mess with is you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it was as she spoke to Joseph day by day, just kept on hounding him. "Come on, baby, let's go. Come on." She kept pestering him. But he kept ignoring her. He didn't pay heed to her, to lie with her, to be with her, as it says too. And there was a day that Joseph went into the house for his work, and none of the men of the house were inside. She got rid of everybody. And she caught him by his garment, saying, "Lie with me." And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got himself out of there. This woman gone crazy. She going about to getting out of here. So when she saw he left his garment in her hand and was gone, he was gone, go. All she had was his shirt, I guess, or whatever piece of garment that was. She called to the men of her house and spoke to them, saying, "See, he has brought in a Hebrew to mock us. He came in here to lie with me, and I cried out in a loud voice. And when he heard that I lift up my voice, he left his garment with me and fled and got himself out." And she put his garment by her until his master came home and spoke to him, saying, "The Hebrew servant whom you have brought to us came in to mock me. And as I started hollering, he left his garment with me and fled outside." So his master heard the word of his wife, that said, your servant did this after all this manner to me, that his wrath was kindled. I'm thinking Potipher wasn't the swiftest guy. He had trusted this guy, Joseph, with all his stuff. And now his wife is saying this, like, was he clueless? Clueless. Joseph's master took him and put him in the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and was there in the prison. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him loving kindness, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. So the prison warden, I guess you would call prison keeper, the warden, committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners in the prison, and whatever they did there, he accomplished. The warden didn't look after anything in there. It says he didn't look after anything under Joseph's hand, because the Lord was with him, and the Lord made everything he did succeed. Potipher should have had sense to know something wasn't right. But I guess it would have really looked bad if he didn't believe his wife and he believed his slave that was in charge of everything. However, anyway, so the prison run by the prisoner. Joseph was really blessed in his sojourning in Egypt. You ever meet people who, no matter what they do, it's like they have that golden touch? I mean, not everything's perfect in their life, but whatever they do, they do it well. I know some people, I'm thinking one guy in particular, everything he does, every job, he changes jobs, you know, off and on, but every job he does good. I mean, he's good at everything. I haven't seen him be bad at anything as far as any task, any job, and that's the Lord's blessing. I don't know if they even realize that's the Lord's blessing, but it is. I look at myself and I'm like, does that really happen with me? But I'm not on the outside looking in. So y'all have a great morning.